Hey, what's going on? This is Josh Copeland, and you are now watching another episode of The Wind Down. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Wind Down. I am super duper excited to introduce my guest here. This is Jorge Narvaez. He's the creator of Reality Changers. He's been featured on America's Got Talent, and he's been all over social media. He's like a social media king. He's worked with a ton of brands, and now he's here after a long week of crushing it and grinding it to kick it with your boy Josh Copeland over a glass of wine. Jorge, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Super happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on your show. I'm very excited to see where this is going, man. Very proud of you, dude.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I mean, I only learn from the best, right? So today we are going to be chilling. Since it's really, really hot out, it's the summertime, we're in San Diego. We're actually going to be kicking it with a nice Sauvignon Blanc called Star Barrel. Now, if you're not really into drinking things, drinking whites like that, like I said before in my previous episode, you can put whites in the fridge. Do not put reds in the fridge unless it's a port wine. We will get into that in the future. I don't care. I said what I said. But if you're gonna go for something that's really, really sweet and a little bit on the dry side, but very, very citrusy with fruits like, limes, lemons, and oranges, you really want to go with Star Barrel. It's really, really delicious. Goes really, really well with things like, whites like chicken, salmons, all sorts of stuff like that. It's actually rated on Vivino with a 4-star. Like, it's got 4 stars, which is amazing because most wines are like 3.9, 3.7, 3.6, and those are really good. So this was really, really good. So Jorge, I've watched a lot of your content. No, you're not really much of a wine person, so I thought I'd be like,
I actually am, I'll be honest with you, and you actually pronounce it by Sauvignon Blanc. That's how you say it.
Well, what did I say? Sauvignon?
Something else.
Sauvignon?
You gotta say it like this. Sauvignon.
Sauvignon.
You gotta say it in French.
See?
Sauvignon.
He is a wine person. My bad. See, with this guy?
I'm just playing with you, man. You did it right. I was messing with you.
Damn. You can't troll me on my own show. You're out of here. You're fired. But no, I'm just kidding. I can't fire you. It's my show. So check it out, bro. You had a long week. We're going to kick it for as long as you want or until the bottle is empty.
Smells good.
That's right.
Cheers, man. This is good. So, I usually go for reds.
Yeah.
But this one's pretty good, man. I like it. I think you're right about because there's some wines that are better with chicken,
Yeah.
With certain meats. I didn't even realize that,
Yeah, dude. Like I normally like going for like Chardonnays or but Sauvignon Blancs are a lot better for things like that. Now, if you're going for like the sweeter wines, like your Moscatos and your Rieslings, and then you want to go for like you want to have that with cheesecakes and things like that.
Yeah, definitely, man.
But again, I'm still learning. I'm no expert yet. But hey, listen, if you guys want to have your wines on this show, let your boy know. I'll put it on there, and I will hype it up as much as I can, man. So like I said, man, like, you've been on YouTube for a minute, man. How did you get started with the Reality Changers? Let us know what time it is, bro.
Man, it's been a minute. It has been a minute. The whole YouTube thing, social media thing started by accident. I wasn't supposed to be a YouTuber. I was at UCSD. I was getting my ethnic studies major. I was on my way to a midterm. A couple days ago, I had just put a video of my daughter and I just singing a song that I had liked. Called Home by Edward Sharpe and Magnetic Zeros. Mm-hmm. And I really loved it a lot that I wanted to share it to my kids. So I got home and I started learning it myself. I started playing it to my daughters and I noticed that she really liked it. So I just decided to record. Just pick up my camera. I was doing photography and visual arts at UCSD as well.
Yeah.
So I had some equipment to work with. And then I just recorded it, put it up on YouTube for no reason. I wasn't even trying to do anything about it. And then a couple of days later, I'm getting a call from Ellen DeGeneres and her manager. I'm on my way to a midterm, right? And I'm like, first thing I thought about was how the hell did she get my number?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the president. How did you get my number? And UCSD has a public listing. Mm-hmm. So I got excited, and then they sent me on the show. During that time, the video was getting a lot of views. Mm-hmm. And at the time, 1 million views was a lot in 2011, That's the same year that the Golden Voice guy came out. That's the same year that Rebecca Black was like, it was like YouTube was becoming a big thing. You know, it was like I was on Time Magazine. I got featured on the Time Magazine that year, and it was like they called it the eye with a thousand, the monster with 1,000 eyes, because digital media was becoming very, very relevant, more important than ever to look at your business and start creating a digital footprint. And it started picking up, but it was just a fun little innocent moment with my daughter, just singing a song. Yeah. You know? But that little moment was so powerful and so relatable to people that people wanted to see it, you know, and share it. And I was like, wow, it's so cool, you know, because it was just a fun moment. Like I said, I was in my daughter's room, you know? And it started gaining more traction. I started going on shows. And then a light bulb hit. And I was like, hey, what if I just start making videos about my life as a dad, you know? And I started uploading videos. And then I realized that I had already been doing it for a couple of years. I was already obsessed with documenting my life. I was already obsessed with talking and sharing with my kids. So I was like, why don't I just post about it? Right. That's when it started becoming into a thing, right? I got picked up by Maker Studios at the time that got bought by Disney recently, a couple of years ago. And it was a really fun, it's been a fun journey. I've learned a lot. I've traveled a lot since then. I've been doing more videos since then. And since then, I've been doing it full time. And it's been one hell of a journey. I've been as far as traveling to China. Dude. I've been to, I'll never forget performing in China with my daughter. I was on set with Troye Sivan, who's a big artist now. And he and I and a couple of us were celebrating the 100th year anniversary of Oreo in China. And we performed and found out that there was 140 million people watching us live in China on the show. So because entertainment's very, very, very controlled up there, you know, it's very, very controlled. So and that show called Day Up it's like the Sábado Gigante of, like, you know, of like China, and Sábado Gigante is like a big show in Mexico in Latin America. So stuff like that I started noticing, and then the videos of my family of me vlogging started picking up too. People started appreciating the connection that I had with my daughters and the fatherhood component, you know. So that's when I was like, maybe I could start focusing on like family and building, like talking about community, and teaching my kids and talking about art and music, you know, and really implementing what I've been learning in school about ethnic studies and community building and stuff like that, and figuring out a way to inspire people. Yeah. But through a simple formula, just through my kids, through my interaction with them. And it was something that I didn't expect to go viral, to go far. And to this day, I don't even know how it's something that's, you know, it's so relevant now, but it is. It got so relevant that one of the videos went viral, and you've seen it, man. It's a little girl taking a nap at the beach. I take a nap here. You know what? A little girl. That's my daughter, dude.
Before I even knew who you were, I saw that video and I was like, that's hilarious. She must have been tired.
This is good, actually.
Oh yeah, take some more, dog.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Starborough, man.
It's New Zealand too.
Yeah, it's freaking flame, dude. Freaking blue fire, dude. Straight the fuck up. But dude, that's crazy, right? Because the first thing you think about when you think of like YouTube, when you think of like entrepreneurs, you think things that you're thinking of Lamborghinis and multi-million dollars, and you're thinking of the big houses and the mansions and the Ferraris and Lambos. No, you went and you just you started documenting your life, your main passion, your family, your kids, and you ended up taking that and turning that into a freaking career. That to me is amazing. And you know what's even crazy about what I love about watching your content and your videos is the fact that you were able to take your family members and then turn them all into content creators themselves.
It was by accident too. It's just that they started seeing me and they started mimicking what I was doing.
Of course.
Right? And they started enjoying it and just having fun, you know. And that's what this whole thing was about. They started enjoying it too at first. But there have been moments where there's like ups and downs, because we're human beings, man. I mean, you can only share so much, you can only do so much with what you do, and expect people to like it. It's like, no, you gotta. And that's when I realized, I'm like, you know what? Let me talk more about fatherhood. You know? Yeah. Let me talk more about the struggle of being a Latino in this country. Let me talk more about my family and the stuff that I've been through. And so I started opening more about my family and the struggles we've been through, and it started becoming more wholesome, more real to me, you know? I still sang with my kids. I still sing with my kids today. But it's changed, it's evolved, and I think that's something that I've recognized is learning when it's time to move on, learning when it's time to respect my children's innocence and their space, you know. And so we're here now, right, to 2020, you know, 10 years later. We've been through a lot of ups and downs. I did work for a couple of years at a nonprofit, a fatherhood program, and I learned a lot about what dads go through in our communities, you know, how they feel when they come out of prison, military fathers and stuff like that. And I really learned a lot about what's really happening out there, you know, and understanding how much of a voice I have to be for our dads. You know, there's not a lot of us out there that are doing this YouTube thing, that are trying to become entrepreneurs, that are trying to stand out on social media. And that's where the world is going. The world is going towards social media, digital media, AR, VR. How, as a father, am I going to prepare my kids for that?
Right.
You know, so all these things are happening. I'm evolving, and all these things are growing. But the fundamentals is what's important, right? You going back to your point, I wasn't thinking about Lamborghinis. I've never really cared about that. You know, they would be nice, but I realized something more important: time. Spending time with my kids. Spending time paddleboarding or playing and being with myself, you know. I think that became more valuable to me, you know, because that's you know, I know people, man, that are like billionaires, that are millionaires, that are business people. They love what they do, but ask them how much time they spend with their kids. Ask them how much time they spend with their wives and their families. How much time do they see each other? And they'll fool themselves for years and years and years and say, nah, one day it'll all pay off. I'm like, yeah, it'll pay off, but you missed all these years of time. So I figured out a way to monetize and spend time with my family. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You gotta learn how to keep your feet on the ground. You have to learn how to respect people's boundaries, respect yourself, take care of your health, you know? Because being an entrepreneur is one thing that nobody talks to you about is it's that 12 to 4 a.m. job. You gotta go to your traditional job. If you want to make it, if you want to stand out, if you want to make millions of dollars, there's no way in hell you're gonna make it with a 9 to 5, bro. That's just the truth. There's no way. You have to start your own business. You have to start thinking outside the box, diversify your mind, you know, and learn new traits, stuff that we didn't learn growing up.
Right.
I didn't learn any of that stuff growing up. I know the hustle culture. I came from the hustle culture, but did I ever get a chance to implement it? No. So now I am.
Right.
You know? So now I am, because my mom didn't do it. My dad couldn't do it. They had me when they were 16 and I was 17, and I had my kids when I was 16, 17. My wife was 16. So I'm like, no, I got to change reality. You know, I got to change my own reality, and that's why the name of my channel is called Reality Changers.
That is... I'm drinking to that. I'm drinking to that. That's freaking amazing, dude.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, dude. Yeah. I love that. I love how passionate you are about that. And you know what? I will say that you've done an amazing job keeping the innocence of your daughters and your children intact.
I try.
No, you really have. Like, I remember.
You know how they are, man.
Dude, I remember. I've known your kids for years, dude. Alexa, when she was like really, really young. I remember seeing her on America's Got Talent with you, and she was a tiny little girl. You guys were singing, "Baby, I'm in love and asleep." What was the name of that?
Oh, Rolling in the Deep.
Who's singing that song?
Adele.
Not Adele. No, it was.
That was One Republic.
One Republic, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember just like watching that and being like, "Damn, she is freaking adorable." And I think that you won the stage because of how adorable she was. And
that was actually the song "Home" that we did on stage.
Oh, was it Home?
We also did sing that song, and that song also did go viral.
Yeah.
But the song I sang on America's Got Talent was "Home."
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, Alexa, yeah, she kind of sold the show for sure. But I mean, she couldn't have done that if she didn't have an amazing father.
Well, she had fun. If you see the video,
you know,
she was like just a kid on stage, and then she looks back at him, she's like, "Dad, I really said all that on stage. Really, I can't believe I wasn't embarrassed." I'm like, it's because I remembered you just. I always taught you to have fun. Just, I don't care where you are. Just have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, don't worry about anybody else. She even like talked to Howard Stern. He's like,
"You talk.
Like, what happened to your dad?"
Whoa.
You know,
whoa.
like
she talked to Howard Stern.
She called out Howard Stern. She's like, Howard Stern says to her, "Oh, I wish I had a dad like yours, Alexa." And Alexa's like, "Well, what happened to your dad?" You know?
Whoa.
So she was already spunky and she was already spicy since the day she was born, you know? And that's when I realized, I'm like, these kids are meant to be bigger than just singers. These kids are meant to change the world.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's important for me to stay grounded, so I can teach them to stay grounded. You know, they start mimicking everything we do as they get older. They mimic everything, all the bad and all the good.
Well, especially Alexa, because she's just like you. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a female George, and I'm like, shut up.
She's really
the hell?
She's very loud. Yeah, she's loud. I've had to teach her. I have to take my own advice sometimes. I tell her, like, talk once, listen twice. You know. So, yes, Dad, yes.
She don't listen to nobody.
She don't listen to anybody.
She don't listen to nobody. But you know, it's all good though. It's all good though, because you know, big personalities, obviously they take you far.
Absolutely.
You know, Eliana has a big personality as well. I mean, I've seen her content as well. She's doing some big things as well.
I think that's the key, is using. So the secret to all that I'm doing is, I don't care what they want to do with their life. I don't care if they want to become a singer or an actor or a nurse or anything else. What I'm trying to teach these kids is entrepreneurship mentality. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. Learn how to be in front of a camera. Learn how to speak in front of people. Learn how to learn. That's another thing that we don't know, like how to be receptive, right? Yeah. How to listen. And so the stuff that I'm teaching them alongside my wife is focusing on traits and skills that are going to teach them to become great people. If they don't like the job that they're in, they can easily quit and just like have that side job and go, okay, I'm good for the next couple of months and I can bounce on another job. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's for them to never have to suffer, never have to struggle, never have to rely on anybody else. And nowadays, in a world where we're living, there's a lot of, you know, discrimination towards women still to this day. And my daughters are brown Latina women. You know, they're going to go out into the world, they're going to change the world, but they also have to have strong foundations. So I have to teach them to become entrepreneurs, to build their own business. And so if you've seen how Alexa talks, when she talks about her plants in her room, she's like, she started, so my daughter started selling plants at her high school. So bizarre. She started growing plants in her room. She made a greenhouse out of her room, and then she started propagating the plants, and then she started selling them at school.
Damn.
On her own.
Damn.
Right? She started hustling. Mm-hmm. So I told her, as long as you have this mentality, you know, no matter what you're doing, if you're selling wine, if you're selling plants, you just need to learn how to sell.
Right.
That's the key, right? Like the way you sold this wine at the beginning, you know how to sell. You're a copywriter.
Yes, well,
right?
I am a copywriter. Yes. Yeah, well, pretty good copywriting too.
Cheers on that. Cheers. We should start doing that.
Dude, we should totally start doing that.
But yeah.
Dude, yeah, no, I get that. Your kids are going places for sure, man.
I hope so.
I think that it is so, like I said, man, I love the fact that you were able to turn all of your family members into content creators. You're literally building a dynasty before your very eyes. And I cannot wait to see how far they go. And eventually, when they're old enough, I will have them on this show too, drinking wine with your boy. Unless they don't drink.
I'm sure they'll be happy about it too.
Yeah, but I'll have them drinking like Stella Rosa or something like that.
Give
a wine that's not a real wine.
Give them what is it called? The what is that? Shirley Temple.
The Shirley Temple,
yeah.
A virgin wine, like grape juice. You know what I mean? Like a classy grape juice. I even put it in a
virgin pineapple pina colada.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So that's his favorite.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting it in the fridge, and I'm not putting ice cubes in it. So
okay. You gotta respect the wine, bro.
Okay.
You gotta respect the wine.
Yes.
You gotta respect it.
Thank you.
CK.
My first guest.
Respect.
Letting you guys know what time it is. Respect the freaking wine. Hell yeah. Down.
All three y'all. Respect. Respect.
So I've been actually meaning to ask you, bro, because I know that you've been working with a lot of brands, and you kind of like, kind of went really, really far with reality changers, and you were changing a lot of realities in your passions and stuff like that. What are some of the best brands that you've worked with, if you can talk about them?
Yeah.
And what are some of the worst brands?
Some of the best brands, and they're not worst brands. I see them as like brands that have kind of. Let me start over.
Okay.
So the best brand, some of the best brands I work with a brand called Scan Health Plan. I didn't even expect it to be good, because at first it was just about posting on social media about their brand. It's a nonprofit Medicare like program. My job was just to promote like health insurance for old people,
right,
for elders. But so the way in which I work now is like, okay, you guys want to work with me, and we worked, and we instead I was able to encourage them to help my kids go volunteer at one of their events and provide and give out food to some of the struggling families in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So working with brands like Scan Health Plan that allow me to control the creative and putting my own message, right, like giving back, changing reality, right, that was with Scan Health Plan. I did one with Hyundai for it was an NFL playoffs commercial. That was fun, dude. That was a couple of years ago, 2011. My daughter and I got invited to be part of this. It was a pretty cool campaign, and it was you know the Big Lebowski, that guy. He was a voiceover.
What?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Dog,
and
that's nuts.
I've done a couple campaigns with like big artists. That definitely stood out to me, man. I went to I did a Target campaign where I met what's John Legend's wife? What's her name?
Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah, her and this other guy. I forgot the other guy's name. They were just hanging out in this big building, just celebrities just walking around minding their own business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got invited to be part of that Target campaign and just chill with all these celebrities and like, you know, I mean, they're just normal people. That's all they are.
So you like I heard when you meet a celebrity, you should probably just talk to them like they're regular.
I met Adam Sandler.
Like, so tell me more about Adam Sandler.
So Adam Sandler was fun when I saw Adam Sandler at the Cars 3 red carpet event, and I saw a bunch of people there, man. It wasn't just him. It was like the whole like Jackass cast was there too, and they were just randomly walking. It was like bizarre. I think these like rich celebrity people, they like have their own like events.
Yeah.
And they invite each other, and then they hang out with each other, and like these private events. And then we just happen to get invited because we're influencers, you know. And then we influence. But it was so interesting because I was like next to Johnny Knoxville on the teacup things, the game at Disneyland.
Yeah.
But it was in the California Adventure one. It was the one with the cow cars in the Cars movie. Anyways, it was fun. And then I saw, going back to the Power Rangers red carpet premiere.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. So I went to the red carpet and I saw all the cast of the old school Power Rangers, right? And I was walking through the red carpet, and the movie was about to end, and then I saw Tommy getting kicked out of the movie theater because he was recording the last scene on Power Rangers. I think he came out, but because he recorded it, the security guys pulled him out. And even though he said he was a Green Ranger, they still pulled him out. And I was like, dang, that sucks.
He probably thought he was like a cosplay.
You know, right?
Everybody says they're the Green Ranger, sir.
But I went outside, and then I went to the bathroom because I needed to go to the bathroom, and he was in there pissed off. I could hear him. I was like, this guy's still in here.
Pissed in the bathroom.
And then I had the audacity of like, I was like, I'm never gonna get a chance to say hi to this guy again. So I went over to say hi to him again, and he was already kind of upset because of what happened. Mm-hmm. But I convinced him to send my brother Eric a video because my brother's a military veteran. Yeah. And he did a whole video for him and everything. It was pretty cool. So
that's crazy, dude. I have a really good friend. His name is Mark. Shout out to Mark Arjona. He loves Power Rangers cosplay. He actually works with the Power Rangers. He's working on his own show. It's called Shattered Past. He's the Green Ranger.
Oh, Shattered Grids?
It's Shattered Past, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
It's the grid, off the grid. That's the game.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's the Psycho Ranger. Don't tell anybody I told him.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Tommy overall was such a great guy. I also met the Red Ranger.
Oh, which one?
Jason.
Oh, the first one.
Austin St. John, his real name is. Ex-military.
Is he?
He's super chill, man.
Yeah?
I met him at the after party. Super chill guy. He was such a wonderful person to meet. I also met the Pink Ranger.
Oh, Kimberly.
Hell yeah.
God, dude.
But she wasn't nice. She was busy. I mean, I could tell she was like over kind of meeting people up all the time. You know, I get it, you know.
Another picture? Damn.
I can see some of these like celebrities they just get tired of it, man. They don't get treated like human beings. You know what I mean? Like they want to just connect like real people, but it's hard because they're celebrities. You know what I mean? So I met a lot of people like that in my life, man.
How would you connect with a celebrity though? I mean, for someone who has like met them, you know, you obviously you specialize in creating relationships. If somebody who's watching the show right now is a regular person and was like, dude, that's a celebrity, rather than showing up to them like a fan, what would be the polite way, like the most etiquette filled way to walk up to a celebrity? What do you think?
Just say hi to them and hey, how are you? You know, I mean, obviously you're gonna have to make some sort of good conversation because they're used to people approaching them to say, hey, how are you? Good to meet you. Can I take a picture? That's like the most cliche they hear all the time. So it just depends on the setting, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's a lot of people around you and they're being bombarded and you try to get their attention, they're just going to give you some of it and they're going to keep moving on. There's a tactic. They have a tactic. There's an art of exiting a conversation. They know it.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to do it. So I just try to be as honest as possible of a good memory or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, or something that I think would be meaningful conversation. Like with Tommy and like Austin, I knew Austin was a military veteran, you know? So I was like, hey man, thank you for your service too, you know? And I really appreciate, you know, like the memories you helped me create, you know, when I was a kid. And I think that's when they start, because they have egos, dude. Celebrities have very big egos. Some of them are toxic, some of them are really good. And sometimes you can stroke their ego and figure out a way to kind of like make them kind of be interested in you too. So you just interact with them in a genuine way. You just talk to them like people. They deserve it too, you know?
Yeah.
And they're not used to it. So it's a hit or miss. You never know what the mood they're in, because they're just like anybody else, man. Going to the supermarket.
Yeah. I know that my mentor, Jason Capital, shout out to Jason Capital, he'd always talk about how if you're just going to walk up to somebody who's very high status, like high status individuals, that you want to approach them not with the sense of what can I get from you, but with value. Like, how can I add value to your life today? Even if it's not outwardly asking them, how can I add value to your life today? It's like, if you can like make their lives better in some kind of way. Maybe it's just like a conversation. Maybe it's a compliment. Maybe whatever. But if you approach people, that's where you're not trying to take something from them. They're a lot more receptive to you.
Yeah, and they can sniff you out right away.
Of course.
They're used to people coming up to them for bad intentions, and you just have to recognize and respect that they're people in positions of power. They're celebrities, man. There's a reason why they are they. You know.
Yeah, that is so amazing. That's amazing.
I think as long as we treat them with respect, treat each other with respect, they sense you. You know. So.
Cheers to the freaking.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Josh here. If you liked the video you just saw, do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be going over more entrepreneur stories that I have. I'm going to have some amazing fellow entrepreneurs on the shows and the episodes coming ahead. And more importantly, we're going to be discussing a lot more delicious wine. Also, if you have any other topics that you want to discuss, feel free to put them in the comments. And if you have an entrepreneur that you want to see on the show to sip wine with, go ahead and include them in the comments too. Until then, cheers.